Okay, so it's just after 2. I have had that fucking rough night, swear to God. I think the first time I woke up, it was like 7:30 or 8:30. And it's just like, I cannot sleep. I'm so uncomfortable. And yesterday, so after I finished, I don't know, sometime in the morning, um, I made this cookie dough stuff, coconut, and then you take condensed milk, and then you make coconut macarons or whatever. But if you put in almonds and chocolate chips, then you make like Mounds cookies or something. And so I had made this stuff up, and then when I cooked them, I didn't like how they came out. Like everything is cooking really weird, but so they came out weird, so I just put the batter in the fridge, and I was gonna cook it later, but then every time I eat it, I was like, "Man, this stuff is good." And, and so just eating it's like eating candy or something. I was like, "Yeah, it has nothing like, this could totally be no-bake cookie, and this is, and it's really good. It tastes like a candy bar." And so anyways, I have it in the fridge, and sometimes I get some out and eat it. And yesterday I did, and then I kept feeling like, man, my tooth feels weird. And so I thought it was like the stuff was stuck on my tooth or something. By the time that I realized, like, no. So that place what I was talking about, like, I'll show you, like this spot. Like, you remember when I very first got the hydroxyapatite mineral toothpaste stuff, the no bullshit toothpaste. It's called NOBS. And it grows teeth back and stuff like that. And so I was like, let's watch and see if it starts growing back. And I've been watching, but it wasn't growing back. It was getting further, like more, whatever of my tooth was coming off of the filling, which I have a bunch of feelings about it. A whole bunch. It's like, it's enough to fucking drown my mind and thoughts. And my chest is hurting so much. God dang. I don't know what. It's like a muscle or something that got, because it's really tender to touch. It's like, I have no idea what the fuck. And, but man, oh my God, when I cough and stuff, it hurts so bad. Um, it's super uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to lay on either side. It's uncomfortable to lay on my back. A weird thing I've been having laying on my back too is like phantom pain of my uterus and my um tubes, fallopian tubes or whatever, all that business is like, I keep feeling like this. It's like, it feels like it's like a vibration. It feels like this emptiness. It feels so uncomfortable. And I don't know what else it can be, but phantom pain from that, and it keeps happening and happening and happening. It's like, oh my gosh, this sucks. And so I don't know if like the mercury's low density, and it's like things that are low density are going to keep breaking out of our bodies and breaking free or something. I'm not sure, because in the medical med beds, the ones that we're all waiting for, those ones, it removes all like the metal and stuff out of your body. It like has your body grow stuff back, and so it removes all, like if you have a hip replacement or shoulder replacement, or even any bones that have been screwed together with bolts and shit, all that comes out, and everything just grows back. So in the higher vibration, see, this shit doesn't stay. And so then I'm like, is it trying to break free? Is it trying to break? It's making a breakout. Like, am I supposed to be getting this removed? Because I would like to go to one of those biological dentists. I even was looking up, and when this first one that popped up, it says it's in Cedro Woolley or something. I was looking at the thing, it's these two guys that look like, I don't know, plastic surgeon buddies or something. Like, I don't know. And they are all about doing implants, full implants and stuff. It's like, that is not like the kind of biological dentist I'm looking for. I'm looking for a naturopathic, these ones that are all about taking the metal out of your mouth. But when I started thinking about this, then it's like, well, what are they going to put in? Like, what do they put in there? Because, like, until we get to the med beds, like, we can't, I don't know. There's things like there's, vibration and stuff you can listen to. It grows back your teeth. But, like, when you go in the med bed, it grows them back, like, instant. This other stuff, like, I don't know how long it fucking takes. And it wasn't building my tooth back over the silver. It's like the silver wants to come out. So now, this whole part busted off, and it's driving me crazy. Like, I can feel it. It's really sharp, and it's like poking down out here. And of course, I am like overdrawn too. And I'm not even going to look. I'm not going to go and feed the energy of the bank. I'm just like, just letting go of the whole thing. It's just like, whatever. Whatever's going to be is going to be. I'm not going to fucking stress out about it. It kept me so stressed out for so many years over bills and going over every little fucking cent and stuff. And I don't know what the fuck, because it's been the last few paychecks or last few times I've spent money or whatever, because when you get paid and you buy your stuff. And so it did this. I don't know if it was the last one or the one before that, but it was saying like a balance. I go through and I look and I'm like, okay, everything is out. There's the balance. And so it tells you what it is. And so then it was saying a certain amount. And then there was a shift. I don't remember if stuff came out. But then all of a sudden it was like, it seems like there's $200 extra in there. And so I was trying to look and stuff. And it was like, everything is gone. Everything is out. I don't understand what it could be. And I had already received all my Amazon stuff. And so I was like, I don't know what this could be. I must have just not thought of it. I must have just, you know, misjudged how much money it was or something. And so and then whatever happened, it overdrew my account. Like, I don't know, it was $30 or something last time. And so I borrowed like $30 from my mom, and it was only for a week or whatever. And so I was like, that is so weird how it did that. And so this time it did it. And so I was like going through carefully. And it was like, I'd already seen the Amazon stuff come out, and I looked through my thing, I looked through my list, and it's like, okay, everything's in there, but how is it all of a sudden doing that? Is this something with the bank? Are they giving me weird things with the balance? And I was just looking and trying to see, like, couldn't see anything. And then and so now whatever it was, I don't know, I spent too much money because I thought more money was in there, obviously. And all of a sudden this big giant thing comes out, and it looks like it's Amazon. All my stuff from Amazon I got like a week ago. I was like, oh my fucking God. And about a year and a half ago, there was some kind of shenanigans with Amazon. So I don't know. Now it's like, it overdrew my account. And it's like, well, you know, if it wasn't supposed to be overdrawn, it wouldn't be overdrawn. Like, there's nothing I could do about it. And I can't put it on somebody else. And I have this return that I had already started before I even knew it was overdrawn. And it was some shoes I had ordered. And then, this is so ridiculous too, I forgot to even say about this. So it was these UGG slippers. So UGG was bought out by a corporation. So they made the American UGG, and there's the Australian UGG. And the Australian UGG is still the same. It still is good. But the American UGG, the new corporate UGG that they created, where they bought the name, because now the other one has to go UGG by UGG of Australia. This one is just the UGG brand. And it is low quality. It's shit. And they charge more. If you go look on the websites and stuff, they even charge more than the other one. And the styles are not the same and stuff. So anyways, when I had ordered these slippers, they were super expensive. And so I'm thinking that they were good ones. And they were purple. They were really cute. And so I was really excited for them to come. They're $108 for these used slippers. But they look like they're new. Like, a lot of the stuff you get, and people buy this stuff and they don't ever use it. And so these, though, So they come and I'm expecting these like good quality, like $108. Are you fucking kidding me? And so they get here and they are, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how crappy these things were. They were covered with stains. They were totally low quality. I couldn't even believe how, that's how I can say, like my Bear Paw Ugg boot, you know, that style of boots. My Bear Paw ones are way better quality than these things. They're totally, this is a corporate bullshit where they just take a name and then they fucking fuck the quality. And then people buy the name and the quality's shit. And so, and on top of it, when I was looking at the shoes and looking at how dirty and stained up and shitty they were and thinking like, I cannot believe you sold it. I cannot believe that you sent these out. Like, I was messaging right away. I was like shocked. All they would do is like, okay, they would do a return. But the kicker was on the bottom. So if you go to thrift storing, like I've been thrift storing since I was a teenager. On shoes, they take a marker and they write on the bottom of the shoes. These had fucking, somebody had gotten these from the motherfucking thrift store and then sold them to ThredUp because it said $12.99. $12.99 in the fucking ThredUp. That's your quality. That you don't even. I couldn't even believe it. So I talked to some different people in customer service, but their whole solution was to do the return. So I was like, yeah. So I sent them back. And so that money would go back onto my thing, but that still leaves it somewhat short. And since there's some kind of a weird thing that once I send him back, it still hasn't, it still hasn't clocked it in as being accepted or something. Like, I don't know. Does it have to be scanned in now? Usually it's scanned in by the mail thing and then your return is done, but I don't know. Everything is so weird. Our mail out here is so weird lately too. There's so much weird stuff going. And oh, and I had a thought about something else too, about the smaller town thing. But anyways, so it was, but yeah, to me, it's just like, I just gotta go with the flow. I gotta go with the flow. I mean, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And maybe this week is going to be it for the banks. And there's no reason for me to sit here and stress about something. And because the way that it all played out was just so odd. Like, it was no, I couldn't have stopped it. It was just weird how it all played out. And those shoes, those been waiting for weeks to get here. Like, that had nothing to do with this. And the shoes, that was a part of the mail issues out here where I'm like, what in the holy hell? Like, it takes 2 weeks to get something. And plus a week before, it was taking a week before. For me to get stuff from ThredUp, it usually takes me a week, like 7, 8 days or something. It takes a while. But then once it started going to 2 weeks for this one, and then they sent it through some weird GLS that I never even heard of. And I was like, GLS definitely does not come and deliver here. So there's got to be some kind of transferring to get it to some delivery person. The only people that deliver out here are UPS, FedEx, and USPS. And then they hire these people who drive around in their cars with a USPS thing on the side that are just delivering like Amazon. So they just go around and deliver Amazon boxes. See, it is bothering me. And I'm going to call the dentist, and I don't know if it's going to be covered under insurance or what. It's just like, fuck. And then how sensitive I am right now to sound and stuff. So I was like, there's no motherfucking way I can handle somebody drilling in my mouth. Especially a dentist who is very barbaric and they don't care. They think like this is just the way it is. It's like, no, you guys are just ignoramuses. Like, I think that a medical degree is more about ego than intelligence. So, but anyways, like, I know they're not going to go in there and like, oh, well, we'll just chip it out gently or something. No, they're going to go in power tools, drilling, and I'm going to feel it all the way through. Like a spoon dropping is so intense. And I feel it through my teeth, down in my ears. It just keeps vibrating in my eardrum. It's like, oh, man, I don't know. I don't know. To me, and a part of me is just like, just fucking pull it out, done. Just fucking pull it out. Like, if that's gonna be the thing. And then part of me is just like, just relax, just write it out. And I mean, right now, yeah, it's not like an open root kind of soreness, but it's when you've had a lot of mouth trauma, it's definitely like, oh my God, what's about to happen? Like, I've had some fucking, like, I've got nerve damage still. So it's like, fuck, man. Oh my God. And it was definitely like when you're taking all these minerals and stuff, and I feel like everything is growing back and doing better. And then that just breaks off like that. And it's like, okay, it's got to be for a reason. And the silver doesn't belong, but they're going to put something else in there that doesn't belong. And so maybe it's like silver's trying to break free, and maybe I'm going to get in the med bed sooner or something. I don't know, but it's definitely adding to the not feeling good part. That's for sure. Is and this, how it feels in my mouth, and how it's hitting into, like, it feels like it's like sticking out, which is so weird. So anyways, that's a whole fucking bullshit thing. And then when you just have to, like, our medical is just sucks, and you have to make a decision over like what you're gonna do. And so I don't know, I'm gonna call my regular dentist, which they may have already X'd me out. They may have already said, oh, we dropped you, because they were sending me letters and stuff telling me I needed to come in, and if I was gonna be in there, because they're my insurance dentist, whatever, and if I was gonna be in their thing, that I needed to be coming in or something. And I just throw away that stuff. I was like, I'm out of this medical bullshit. Although I went back to get my explant, but this, I can't even tell you. Like, this crazy shit. Like, so my guides brought me this. I had no idea. I had no idea what it was going to even be about. It was called, I think, Two Tiny Voices or Two Small Voices or something like that. And it popped up on my thing. And I'm on this roll of these true Lifetime movies. I keep getting all these ones that are all things that made cases. One of them too was another one of these baby broker things. And what was released in this baby broker one was, so they were targeting people who had like issues with CPS and stuff. So they would go and take kids that there was issues in the family, because they thought that it would be less likely that these people would make a complaint or call the police or something. And then in this movie, this one, as these people are just going and stealing these kids, and it's all for these rich people who, I don't know, they decide they want a baby when they're 50 or something. It's like, and they'll pay big money. So it's all these rich people. It's not all of us. It's not all the people who can have babies and stuff that are paying this big money. It's people who, when they don't have any, because they have to know. Like, are you kidding me? You don't know, like, all of a sudden in the news, his baby's gone missing, and all of a sudden you're carrying one out somewhere you paid $100,000 for. Like, are you joking? And no matter what, these numbers aren't running right, because not that many of how many go missing, not that many want a family. So they're definitely doing some weird shit. So there's weird shit going on, but that was something that they said in the movie was that they would go, and so somebody who would have like a case started or something, then they would go and nab their kids or something. And then also, that's what that agency with the C and then the P and then the that one and the D and the S and the agent, those were created to provide this service anyways, to target certain kids and nab them with the law on your side. So, but before, they were just like nabbing them, just taking kids like out of poor communities and stuff. And then what's even worse is if the parents complained, then they start targeting the parents as that, what did you do with your kid? What, you did something, didn't you? And so they would turn it, it on to the poor people. And so Anyways, there's more of their corrupt bullshit. And, oh, which, by the way, New York is in a huge crisis now with this snowstorm thing. And Erie, Pennsylvania is also under a huge blizzardy snow thing. So I don't even know what all places up there are getting all snowed in and freezing to death people again. And in North Carolina, they're still not taking care of any of these people. They got people like one person was, I guess, apparently wrapping themselves in insulation and then staying in a garage or a shed or something. Another old guy was staying in one of those little sheds and that aren't winterized or anything like that, just a shed where you put your tools or whatever. And so there's people trying to survive staying in those. And lots of older people and stuff too, apparently. And so, I don't know, the whole thing is just sad. But the only people who are going to be coming to save anybody is the communities. It's about communities coming together and what it is that we create together. And there is nobody to come in and save us. There isn't these places that are coming in to do anything. They come in for a moment to grab up, if they see some kids walking around by themselves, grab those ones up. But yeah, they're not there to do business for us or help us out or anything like that. So but in this one movie that really got me, so that and it was making me feel so emotional too about the explant thing and how grateful, like, fuck, man. I was like kind of reliving back to when it was that I started wanting to get one. Oh yeah, I gotta say this too, because this really has rocked my world this morning. So I saw a thing of somebody doing a video on Yoko Ono and her being 91 and this famous artist. And I was like, this has got to be AI. Because she died like 10 years after John or something. It was like sad. And I remember, I've always thought of John and Yoko are both gone. And so anyways, then I went and looked it up, and it said, no, she was born in like 1938, and she's 91 years old, and she's an artist. And it had all these pictures, like how People magazine and stuff with her and their kid and stuff. I was like, there is no fucking way. Like, this is so fucking weird. Like, oh my gosh. Where I came from, in the world that I was living in, she died. She died like in the 90s. And it's so weird. It was even weirder is that she had been on my mind recently where I had thought about her, being that same thing as dead at that younger kind of age or something. Like she never aged past that. No, you go look at her, go look at the pictures. To me, it was looking like AI and stuff. But so I said a video this morning because it totally freaked me out. All these people are saying, nope, she's alive. Nope, she's alive. Like, it gets even creepier when it is like you come sliding into some other reality. It's like, fuck, what the hell am I doing here? How did I get here? Because in the one I came from, Marianne Williamson wrote Celestine Prophecy, and Yoko Ono died about 10 years after John. So, I don't know what the fuck. Where the fuck am I? What am I doing here? Like, God, this is so weird. So, anyways, that has really freaked me out. I'm hoping that I'll have more comments after this, or hopefully some of you guys, somebody's going to come in and say, oh, no, I remember. Because then it gives you kind of like I don't know, an anchor or something, because some of this stuff, it makes you like not be able to hold on to reality. It's like it shreds away. It's like the things that you thought or believed all of a sudden fall apart than what is there to hold on to. And then when everybody else is having these same kind of reality anchors and you don't have them, then it's just like, I don't know, the whole thing is just very unsettling. It's very uncomfortable. Oh yeah, and so, okay, let me say more about this movie. So I was feeling super thankful because I was remembering too so when I got the implants, And so, like I said, I was insecure my whole fucking time because of, boys making fun of you at school and girls making fun of you and girls. I mean, it was not just boys and it was not just in school. Because as I got older, it was like lots of times there would be girls and stuff that would make like, like you're not as good, you're less than, or how embarrassing to not have any boobs and stuff like that. It was like just stuff like that that made you feel like, something was wrong with you. You had some handicap or something. And so that insecurity just rode in there. And then I was married and, my husband liked my chest the way it was. And he thought I was crazy when I went and did that. And I did it sneakily. I didn't tell him. We were already split up, but I didn't tell him. But we ended up getting back together anyways. But this is one of our splits. And so I got him, and, he could never understand it. But it was on the insecurity. And then it was the same thing with this. So there was a girl in my nursing class who had gotten him, and she was kind of putting pressure on me. And I was being single at the time. And that rode more on my insecurities and being older. And I'd cut all my hair off for nursing school. So I didn't have any hair or no, I just felt insecure. And the, uh, I mean, I had hair, but, for a while it was pretty short. But anyways, there was just all of your insecurities. Everything is about your insecurities. That's what you go to the plastic surgeon for. You don't go because you're feeling good about yourself. So, go and get the things. And I was very, um, uh, frugal about it or whatever. Very much like, just want the skin to be inflated again. I just want it to be like inflated, but I only want them to be small. So I just said I just wanted them to be like a B, maybe a small C, but that's it. And so anyways, when I woke up, it was a double D. And he was telling me that they put in the other ones, it just didn't look right. They had to go bigger because of my body and stuff. And so at the time, I'm thinking, oh, it's, I have this giant body. I had to put these giant boobs and stuff like that. And I didn't, it's still a part of my whole thing because it took me a long time before, it was like that one lady when she was getting me the uniforms and she was measuring me and she was like, oh, no, you need an extra small. Because those kinds of things like tripped me out. Because before that, I kept thinking I was like this giant or something. And so he put in these big giant boobs on me. And they were so uncomfortable. And they were so heavy. And I hated them. And, they're kind of fun the first couple of weeks. You go buy bras. And it's like, oh, look, I can look good in a bra. Look at this. Oh, sexy. And I got a bunch of cute bras at Victoria's Secrets. And, but all of the bras, one thing that I found is like I couldn't wear anything that had any kind of padding at all. It had to be just strict nylon because I could not add the extra footage to my boob. It already was so. And then when you also have insecurities, when people just keep looking at your chest and looking at your chest, that makes you insecure too. And so it's not helping your insecurity by the choice of it, like, oh, let's draw attention. So, but for some people, it makes them feel more confident, but not for everybody. So, you just don't know how you're going to feel until you have it happen. And so so anyways, I had gone back to the doctor and I had said about taking him out. And, he said, well, that would be like $10,000, $10,500 or something. And so this was, I think, like a year after I'd gotten him in. And getting him in, I think that was $5,600. So then it was going to go up to 10.5 or something to take him out. And so then I was like, fuck, man. So now I'm kind of like stuck. And so then it was kind of like I just tried to make the best of it. It was like I didn't have $10,000 to go and take them out. And then I was like, man, what is this surgery to take them out? Like, fuck. And so it just kind of freaked me out. And then I kind of was just like, well, I'm stuck. And then there was always people who were like, oh, love Big Boot, love him, oh, looks so good and stuff. And then there's always people too who are like, oh, why would you do that? And but to me, I was uncomfortable. I didn't ever like them. I wasn't somebody who wanted to show a bunch of cleavage. They're made it hard to find clothes that fit right, and they hurt my shoulders. There was nothing that I liked about them, and there was just a tons of stuff, and so I did not like them, and I wanted them out. So then once I started hearing about the med beds, and so once I think I'd heard about the med beds before I ever knew that it was going to become available to us. Is once once I knew about the Nicera Gacera and all of the patents that have been hidden and all of that stuff, and that all this technology, this big boom in technology was going to happen. That is, I think, more of when I realized we're going to get to go into the med beds. And I think that had to be after 2020. And so it was where I started thinking, well, I'm going to get my implants out, because then when I go in the med beds, it's going to take all the foreign body stuff out of me. So I'll get those out. So thank God. So I kept on thinking, okay, well, they're going to get out. They're going to get out. I'm going to get them out no matter what. They're coming out. And so I was just stuck on, like, I knew that they were going to be coming out. And so then, whatever it was, some videos started popping up in my feed about this explant and doing it with no anesthesia. And so I was watching that, and I was like, oh man, I would do that. I would do that with, and to me, I was like, that makes sense because it's a foreign body. Why would you need anything to remove a foreign body? The foreign body's not going to feel it. It's just your skin. So to cut into the skin would be the only thing. I didn't think about how the collapse, like, fuck, I found out how bad that hurt. The collapse of that area because it was so pushed out, and it was a sudden collapse. So it was like muscle spasms for days. Oh God, it hurt so bad. Fuck, that was painful. And, but so once I started seeing those videos of the explant thing, then I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start looking into this. So I started looking into it, talking to different people online or whatever, like this one doctor, and calling different places and stuff, trying to find out. Because I thought, well, this must be some, there's more doctors doing this. No, there's way more. The trend is all these doctors putting in these big surgical suites and doing this explant. I mean, it's called... what is it called? We've got a name for it, but what they're doing is they're going, it's like a foreign word. I can't think of it. But so they're going in and they are saying that they have to clean out the whole area, and they are removing the capsule. And so the implant goes in, and then it creates a barrier between you and it creates a capsule around it. And sometimes they harden, and that's how these people get these encapsulated hard boobs and stuff like that, which is a serious problem. And there's lots of things. There's lots of stuff. And this movie that I watched, just, oh my gosh. So then once I had seen the stuff and I had decided that that's the direction I was going to go. And it's like that was the direction I was always going to go. It was like they're just showing me which direction I'm going when you start reading into the signs and stuff like that. So I knew that it was going to be going this way. And so I started looking for one, and then it would start being all these ones that no, they only do these big surgical suite things, $10,000 to get them out and all of this big thing. And so I was frustrated. And so I was calling different ones, and there was like this one in Spokane, and they were so rude. And to me, it was like it was pushing me out from that direction, even though I pushed back some to see. But you're not supposed to have to force things. Things fall into place. So I took the push and went a different direction. And I was doing those ones in Seattle. And then I looked on this one. It was all of a sudden when I thought, oh, maybe there's one in Yakima. And then is when I looked that up, and this other doctor popped up. And that's the one that I ended up calling, was this one that just popped up. And that's the one that ended up doing it and stuff. And still, please don't do that. She's got such an attitude lately. Look at her tail going. She's sitting there just throwing those bells around. It's making her so happy. Okay, are you done now? We've all heard your feeling about that. Do you want to come over here and lay? Are you upset about something? You want to come sit right here by Mom? That stuff, that DSM, it really is working. This big giant one is really collapsing and stuff. And the one under her chin, it really is drying up and stuff. So I'm going to put it on more of those. And, honey, do you really need to go out right now? Can you just wait until I finish working a little? It's not that much longer. 36 minutes. Okay. So let me finish talking about this thing. So so my whole journey was going towards this explant for a long while. Like, it was in my desires for a long while. Then it was in my belief system that I was definitely going to get it. And then it started playing out how I was going to get it. And I was kind of surprised because I kept thinking, well, I'm going to get it when I go into the med bed. But then it was like, no, you're going to get it now. And it was like, oh, so is it like one of those pay the piper kind of things? Like, you made the choice, now you got to have the other side, the repercussion. So I got to go through one side and put them in. Now I got to go through the taking them out. And I could see, like, it was a huge process. And I was still processing it because this movie, I couldn't even believe it. So in this movie, so this is in the 90s. And so what do we have out there? Pamela Anderson, like, when did she get her implants? Like, when did some of these people get their implants? So these ladies, so the first one, she was a doctor's wife. She lived in Beverly Hills. And so she went, she got cancer. And so they did a mastectomy. And so she decided she really liked her boobs, and she did not want to be boobless. And so she wanted to get implants. So she went, and she's a doctor's wife and stuff. And she goes and talks to the surgeon. And he tells them, oh, no, it's really safe. It's great. And gives all these explanations. And so she's like, okay, I want to get them. And so she gets them. And I don't remember if it was like, it was within a week or something, her body started rejecting them. I can't remember what it was that happened. She got super sick or something. And so she had to go take them out. And then they said, well, we have these other ones that have like a barrier. So it has the implant. And these are all silicone. All they had was silicone then. And so they said that it has a barrier, like a buffer, and that will protect, so it will make your body not reject it. So she put those in, and her body rejected those, and she got a horrible infection. So she got really sick. And so there was a lot more disfiguring. Her breast just became super disfigured by all of this surgery and all this removing. And the second one, the implant had opened up or something. So the doctor had spent hours scooping out the silicone, and nobody told her. She didn't even know that she had the silicone just free floating through her body now. And she became very health conscious, I think, during her cancer thing. And so she was, because they kept making that about a thing in the movie. She's always eating salad, and she was always eating super healthy. And she was super conscientious of her stuff in her body and stuff. Because when she found out about the silicone thing free floating in her body, she was freaking out. And the other lady, so it's the two stories, because these women made an impact. These two women really made a difference in the world. And so, the other one, she got it for the same reason as like I did, cosmetic, because the boys would make fun of her and tell her she was an ironing board and stuff like that. And so it just bothered her. She always felt like she had nothing up top. And one thing too, for any of the women who have gone through this, because she said the same thing, going out trying to get a swimming suit or something is really hard because the size, it was nice when they started doing the two sizes where you could go get a size difference. But when the just came in like one size thing and you just bought a size, the top and the bottom would not fit the same body. If you were super flat chest, it was based on like a average size. So anyways, this woman was talking about that and stuff and her insecurities. And so she wanted to get one. So she got one. And right away, she became sick. And she was an athlete who would go and jog like 6 miles every morning. And she became so sick. She couldn't get up. She couldn't get out of bed. She had pneumonia. Then it lasted for weeks. And she got it again right after. She was just sick, sick, sick. And the one woman started doing a newsletters. Like she became, because the connections she had from being a doctor's wife and stuff, she started making big noise about what was going on with hers. And she got the FDA involved. And they were involved, but she got involved with them. And then they asked her to join up on their team. So she started doing some kind of a newsletter or some kind of something. And it reached out to some other women who were already sick, like this one. And so this one got in contact with her. And so throughout the thing, they end up pairing up. But it's a whole thing. It doesn't just happen real quick. And so it goes through the whole thing of them two pairing up. And then they start a whole newsletter and they start going into Congress over and over, because what they had found out was that all of these things that all of the people were having problems, it was all listed, but the doctors weren't showing them that part. Like it came with a warning, but nobody was getting the warning. So everybody was being told it was safe. And then Dow, who was the maker of this, what do you think about Dow plastic and shit? So they were the makers of this, and they were hiding information, just like, same thing that's going on about these little things have been going on. So yeah, this same shit just replays and replays and replays. So they were hiding this information. And they even had like a call service, because this ended up being one of the whistleblowers, a call service. And they said that when they call, they're told to tell any women who call it, oh, nobody else is having any problems. Everybody else is doing good. And there's no issues, even though that there was tons and tons of women. And then they're misdirected. And then this one lady, the second one who got so sick, she started going and trying to get it explanted. No doctors would do it. None. Nobody would do them. They would just say no. Then they started saying it was $10,000 to take them out. And which most people don't have that much money to take them out. And then so she's going around, just at this point she'll pay whatever. She just wants them out, and she's trying to find any doctor. She's getting ones that are just telling her to go see a psychiatrist. There's nothing wrong. And your boobs are going to look so horrible when you take those out. They're going to be destroyed. And she's just like, I don't care. So that's the same way I felt, because the doctor says, whatever when they were talking to you. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care what they look like when they come out. Like, it's better than this. And that's how this lady was too. And she was not finding anybody. Nobody would take them out. So that's why, I'm just like, was sitting there in such gratitude. Like, oh my God, what an ordeal. Like, fucking in the 90s, that you could not even find any doctors to take them out. Like, all these doctors were refusing. And then look what they do now, is like they have to have this big giant thing about it, except some of them are just like, yeah, it is just a foreign object, just pop it and get it, and it deflates itself. You just pop it and then it goes down to flat and it becomes a little tiny. My incision is like this big, how big the thing, like, because they pop it, they pull it out and then make a little cut, and then the water drains out of the side of you, and then after it's all drained out, then they just pull the little thing out and it's gone. And so at the time too, all they were using was silicone on everybody, and everybody was having so many problems. Oh my God, people's things were opening, and then the women were just being treated like you're crazy, nothing's wrong with you. It was I was just so and I'm going back through my own experience of going into the doctors, and they don't sit there and tell you all the things that can go wrong, and thinking like, because that was in '02, so this was in the '90s, this was all going. And I was trying to think like, man, was I not seeing all of this that was happening in the news, and these women going up against Congress and stuff, and they ended up getting $7.2 billion what is it called, the group lawsuit thing, whatever it's called, when a whole group of people do against Dow, and then Dow ended up having to file bankruptcy or something, which they probably opened up into, I don't even know, Dow's probably still going, like, because they have all of these other LLCs and stuff. It's just a laundry system of saving each other and stuff. And that's one of the things too. These people are sitting around waiting for government money. Government money, they've got it wrapped up in their shit. It's their money. The money we give them, or the money they take from us, they just use it for their little fucking laundry. They don't fucking put it towards good use or help people with it. Like, they're way more apt to go buy an island and, have a pizza party. Like, these people are wacky. And they laugh at us, I think, for being so gullible and just sitting here working and giving them our money. And it was really standing out to me so much, too, is about that thing where I was talking about the maids and stuff. And I was thinking, you know what? It's kind of really an attack more even on the darker skinned people again, because it was the darker skinned women who were coming to the lighter skinned women's homes and cleaning them, and then they were getting paid cash, and then they were getting to go home and take care of their families. And and our government doesn't like this cash business stuff, and especially doesn't like the darker skinned people to be able to get ahead or be innovative or be able to figure out, be small business owners or anything. And so these women who were low key, they were small business owners, they're not going and getting all their licenses and all that stuff. They're just going word of mouth. So and so is like, oh, I need somebody to clean my house. And then so and so's like, oh, she does such a good job, call her. And then these women just build up their thing. And they were nice. Like, I would be home, like, we had a couple of different ones. I guess that they would stop coming to our house because our house was haunted and it was scary. So they would leave and not come back. But because you would hear the ghost guy would walk around, and so you would hear him. It's so weird too, because that's energy that you are, because a ghost, how would it have steps? How would it make sounds? It's an energy. And he, I don't know, he had boss vibes, I guess, at that house still always. Because he was always walking around, and then at night he would go in the kitchen and he would rattle around in the pans. So, I don't know, we always thought he probably liked to cook or something. But, I don't know, when you live with some ghost, I don't know, to me, he didn't ever do anything to hurt us or scare us. I felt like he was more protective. And, but anyways, people would come to our house and then they wouldn't stay cleaning. But anyways, that, to me, all these women who were having this small business, innovative, taking care of their families and stuff, and then the government just comes in and crashes it and stuff. I think that is where they started making those, like, all the different things. It was to cause a rift for people who were being independent and working under the table. Like they've been trying to cause a problem in that for a long time. And and it's all so that they can get those taxes, so they can get a chunk out of your money. And then they have control too. Because then they tell us, you know, you got to pay into Social Security and stuff. Well, that to me is what Donald's stopping, where he keeps saying we're ending Social Security tax. That is where I'm saying that's what he's doing. You're no longer going to be paying into that. Because all the time, from the time I was young, it was always the word on the street was, there's not going to be any Social Security by the time that we get older. They were even saying it themselves. They were mismanaging the money or something. Like they're taking the money from us. It's supposed to be building interest, but all of a sudden we can't get our money back because we lived too long or some bullshit. Because it was all a fucking scam. And so it's just shenanigans to just take more of our money and make us work harder and just have to keep giving up more money. And then, so the, because they don't even pay that much for Social Security. Like people think like, oh, well, this is paying into my retirement. No, they don't give you a livable wage for your retirement. So it's more shenanigans. It's more of a scam. And that is why Donald is going to switch it. He's going to stop taking that money out. You're not going to be paying those taxes, paying into that. And he's also going to raise Social Security and give it a livable wage. Give it a wage of like somebody who is retired and not a billionaire, like, but you know, that can go out and live. So anyways, there's going to be all those things changing. And let me think. So I feel like I'm all over the place, but let me think what I was talking about. So the so the storm is upon us. Oh yeah. So there's a bunch of people talking about the Cliff Hyde thing. So another video I had just seen of this morning, and this girl was like, she's confused, like, are we staying home? What are we doing? Are we preparing? It's like, girl, you should be prepared for anything. Like, you shouldn't be on the internet now saying, should I get canned goods? Like, man, people are not at all prepared for what is going to be going down, because something is going to be going down. Stuff is going down. And when it goes down, it makes abrupt changes in people's lives. Like Tennessee and North Carolina are not going back. I'm sure these storms that are going up here, Lake Erie and these different places, they're not going to go back. And they're seeing some new weird thing too. It's lake snow or some weird thing. They're always coming up with these weird things. And we've got these water rivers in the sky that are causing flood, like all their stuff that we, atmospheric rivers, all these things we never even heard of. They're just coming up with new shit. So now they've got a lake snowstorm where they're saying that this lake is causing the snowstorm or some bullshit. It's like, well, where is your fucking heart machines, man? That's what's causing this shit. Like, somebody needs to take your toys away from you. And so, so whatever is going to go there, I'm sure it's going to be major disasters. And this is like beginning of December. Like, they've got that going. Oh, yeah, because December. Oh, yeah, okay, because the Cliff Hyde that. Okay, so so it's December. Today's December 2nd. And so tomorrow's the 3rd. And tomorrow's supposed to be this big day where something's supposed to go down. So this was saying, so everybody's saying, so Cliff Hyde, long time ago, like 20 years ago or something, he developed this software to read the internet energy. Like, he could go in and it would pick up certain words and certain things that we were talking about, and it could predict future events. And so he started realizing this pattern. And so he started, I don't know, paying attention to it, talking about it, writing a book about it or something. And so one of the things that happened, and this was during the time when, before there were podcasts, nobody had podcasts yet. Joe Rogan was, you know, whatever he was doing. He wasn't doing what he's doing now. And Trump was like the apprentice. He wasn't running for president or anything. So in his thing, he said that it was Joe Rogan had a podcast, and Trump becomes president, goes on his podcast, and he could see this future event coming. But at the time, 20 years prior, he was like, that makes no sense. Like, he just kind of put it in his pocket, didn't really pay much attention to it. But then the time came and it happened. So then it was like, so what is the events that were happening after were this big dogfight in the sky, this military battle with the interdimensional people or whatever, the star people. So they're going to have this big battle, which it's been building up over the past week. They keep having helicopters chasing things, like this stuff keeps happening and people keep getting on video. There's just tons of activity up in the sky. There's tons of ships. There's helicopters chasing ships. There's all sorts of military bullshit. There's military all around on the map. If you go look up where's all the military in flight around the US and stuff. And so it definitely seems like they have this build up going towards this thing. And then it had this confirmation. And then it has this whole thing with the 39 days after, and this event was supposed to happen. So this event that nobody saw coming, and then it happened, and so now it's the 39 days after is tomorrow, and so that's where it's like, is this really going to happen? And so everybody's kind of waiting to see, like, is this going to happen? And this girl was like, should we get prepared? Should we send our kids to school? Like, what should we do? And I don't know. Everybody's going to have to do their own thing. From what I understood, it's going to happen more in the evening. So I don't know. Is it going to happen tonight in the evening, after midnight, or is it going to happen tomorrow, like it's supper time? I don't know. Is it even going to happen? I don't know. So that though is, but I would definitely be prepared for having, like, to me, the thing to be prepared for is like having no power and having, because this could like knock out the power grid or something. And they could be, and then maybe that's going to be where they bring on the stuff on the TV, where they've said for a long time that there's like, there's 8 hours of video, and they were going to play it, play the 8 hours, then it would flip and play it again, and then play it again. So they were going to play this 8-hour video 3 times a day, all day long. Then we would have no other stuff on TV, just this video explaining to us what's going on. So I don't know. It's something that was being talked about way back, for sure in 2020. I was hearing that. So so I don't know if that's going to happen. If this is a way to get us into our houses, as things switch, like there's just no telling. And there's no telling also, anything can happen on the anything can happen all this week. Anything can happen. So, and things are going to happen. That's the thing, is like, some people think like, oh, well, maybe not. No, things are going to happen. We just don't know when or how or what is going to happen, but things are going to happen. We're in the ending. We're in an ending of a time, and we're in the beginning of a new time. And so we can't stay stuck in the ending of an old one. It's going to end. It's going to go. So everything is going to go with it. And so we have to, go with roll with the punches. You got to go with the flow. And it's going to be going. And so to me, yeah, you got to be prepared and have like food that you don't have to cook. So to me, I've got peanut butter and crackers. And it's like, cookies. I make cookies every couple days, but I eat them all. So but peanut butter crackers. I mean, you could even eat canned beans. Like, there's some things, like I could put some things on top of my wood stove probably and heat them up. But you gotta kind of have things that you don't have to cook, because if we have no power. And then I think a lot of people like fill up their fridge or their freezer or something, and they're not thinking about the power going out, and then you have all this food that's rotting that you got to do something with. And to me, I also got propane in my grill, and which doesn't work very good, but it still can cook. So so having some kind of alternate source to be able to cook, but having candles and flashlights, just basic preparedness for having no electricity. And it's very, very, I mean, there's fucking people in Tennessee and North Carolina haven't had it in 30 days or something. So it's not like far-fetched. I don't know if everybody's still got it over in the Seattle area from the cyclone. In the second cyclone, I didn't even hear anything about it. So I don't even know if anything even happened with that. our weather is kind of nice. Yesterday it was kind of sunny. There was a lot of formations up in the sky where it was like you could definitely see frequency and stuff. And I was like, I don't know how if that got there artificially or what the hell is going on. Everything's so, and it's still so weird that you'll hear a plane, but the plane will be way, way over here and the sound's way, way back here. It's like all that still is so strange. And then, let me think what I was saying. So funny how I can just keep slipping right out of there. So let me get back to what I was. The eggplant. I spent yesterday just feeling so fucking much gratitude for being able to get mine out and not having to pay $10,000 and having a doctor who was reasonable and would listen and do what I asked. And that one woman, man, when she was going around trying to get a doctor to take him out, and she was willing to pay, and they were like, no, God, man, I could not believe how these doctors were. But those women did get that big, giant ass lawsuit. They got things changed, but then when I went, it was like, I think that they were more about like, well, you don't really want silicone, but probably really want saline. And the girl who was my mentor on this thing, she was getting her second surgery because she did have silicone and it gave her autoimmune. She had lupus. So she had them taken out and then she had saline put in. And she was very Pamela Anderson body. And she liked that. I did not like that. But so she was, but she wanted that look bad enough that she had them put back in. So they took them out once for her and then put in the other ones. So I think they just switched them out. And so she got the saline ones. And so I think that's what was going on with her. And I think I took her to an appointment or something. And that is when it's like, oh, you should go talk to him. You know, you look so bad or something. So anyways, but now I just feel like some of the stuff that they were trying to get in order, I don't think that the surgeon, I think there was still a lot of bullshit that was going on for a long time. And they were not following things, or if they were being told something different, like the pharmaceutical company was telling them one thing and the doctors believed them or something, but the doctors had to start having enough evidence. And that was one thing that the one call center guys said, that they had doctors calling and there was doctors complaining and they were having problems with their people and stuff. So, but enough of them kept doing it. And she talks about the money, the huge money that is made and why, because they make so much money off of that industry, and that the doctors prioritize their paychecks over women's health. And so they are less apt. They're more, well, she wants them, you know. And not every single woman has a problem. But really, I mean, most I think do. Some may not have as severe problems, but anything when you have a foreign body, especially plastic inside your body, and then someone with silicone, that's so bad, man. There were so many horror stories in that thing, those things that opening up and stuff inside of people and kind of exploding inside of people. And luckily the saline is what I had. So even if it opened, it's your natural same stuff that you're made of. So it's just salt water that's inside of them, but still it's this capsule thing that is the problem. And that was where the guy had told me when he was going to take mine out that there's a slick stuff. That's the part that they go and try and clean all out. Well, I don't want him doing that. I don't want him making all of that scar tissue right there. I don't want them digging around in there, creating a possible place for an infection to grow when it's that close to your heart and lungs and stuff. There was like a lot of stuff. It was like, no, I don't want that big surgery done. I just want the things removed and let my body heal naturally. And so anyways, I just feel thankful I got it. But there's a lot of women ahead of me who had to go through a lot of fucking horrible nightmares. And it's just a part of our medical establishment, and like in all these different areas. And there's like so many people still going through it. But this is going to be the collapse of it, because it is based on ignorance and greed. It's not an ego. It isn't based really on taking care of our health. That's not the priority. The priority is making money. And so, and the people who are willing to prioritize making money are the people that are elevated always in this society. If you have an anchoring to care about people, they're not going to elevate you in this society, because this society is created to break us down, tear us down, and keep us small, keep us unaware of ourselves, so that we don't know our own power, because we have the power to create the day that we want by the focus that we have. And there is so much to appreciation, and to appreciate the people before you that have gone through the different things. And there's so much stuff. Like, there's so much stuff with divorce and stuff. Like, when you watch some of these older things with divorce and what people have gone through, like, man. And then when you see some of these old movies, like with the black and white ones, man. And then even what they say about divorce and stuff, like this one I just couldn't even believe, because this is the same kind of shenanigans that they do all the time in this fucking weird ass moral fucking old proper programming. This one was a woman who, she was supposed to be like 16 or 17 or something, and she was a foster kid. And then she had these foster parents that were just the typical old people, just need that paycheck. They didn't give a shit about this kid. And so she's walking home from high school, because, they're not going to come get her. And it's nighttime, so she's probably at the library or something, trying to work hard and get ahead. And so she's walking home. These two boys that obviously have families start harassing her. They attack her, drag her in the car, do whatever, they do once they get her in there. That was so shameful. The shame goes all on her. So the shame all falls on this girl. And then the foster parents are like, no, we can't. No, that's too much shame. We are too embarrassed. No, she can't come back here. So then they take her to, she has to go to, there's no other foster homes. There's no place for her to go. So she has to go to a orphanage place. And then, so she has to finish out her stuff there. And then she's going to get sent to like this halfway house thing or something. She's going to go stay with this lady who's going to like mentor her and help her so that she can start when she turns 18 or something. And so, she goes and starts staying with this lady, and she's like just rejected, used, abused, and she's the whore and stuff like that. And so she is going to college, and she's met this guy who's going to doctor school, and she loves him, and he loves her, and she's working hard, and so she's living with this lady, and she wants to take her out for the evening with her, because she goes out all the time. And she takes her out, and she lets her have this dress. And this woman's knockout. And so she, everybody in the place is like all over her. And there's somebody who's got power or money or something. And so they want to make an offer to her. And then they tell her that they're sure that she can become Miss America. And they're going to put her through for Miss Colorado or something. They're going to put her through on that. And then they're going to work their way up. So she goes to go do this Miss Colorado contest, or whichever state it was, and she wins. And she's just like so excited, this is like the first good thing that's ever happened to her. And she was real embarrassed too. Like, she didn't want to do her swimming suit, and it's like, ugh. And the guys that were talking to her, like, you go walk around at the lake in your swimming suit, like, what's the big deal? And so she's like, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. So she goes and does it. Well, then the boyfriend finds out that she's done it, and she won. So he breaks up with her. That's too much humiliation. No, I can't be with some beauty contest girl. It goes so far. It just starts tumbling. She becomes a criminal. She becomes suicidal. All this over just, her feeling her own sexuality, her own beauty, or something. Like, it was so insane. There was so much of the programming to beat women down on this. And if you were to use your looks or your womanly gifts or whatever, that you were a skank and a whore. And so it was so sad too. And of course it was a foster kid thing, because the foster system has been such a detrimental system, I think, to our society as well. I can't wait for that one to fall apart, because yeah, we there's so many things that we got to do better, and we got to improve things and make big changes on so many things, but we can't do it all as just like a big thing. That's why it's got to go community by community. It's like in communities that have the biggest problems, like Harris County and Houston. Houston's got a huge problem with dogs and stuff, so they need to be, figuring it out, and they need to close down their shelter and put the money towards something better. And there was a place that did just like what I was saying, and I can't remember where it is, but it's another one I saw where they opened up this big farm. I think it's in Costa Rica, and it's a big farm where there's like 1,000 dogs or something that are living there, all these unwanted dogs, because that's one thing there too, is that dogs just roam free. Because when I was in Costa Rica, they said that the dogs just roam free here. But this is a farm that took them, because not all the dogs that roam free can find food and stuff. So there's still issues if we just let the dogs run free. There's still dogs starving and fighting over food and a health crisis and stuff. So we've got issues, we've got to figure out. But the grant money, rather than killing them, we can do better. And maybe have vets that are just work for, doctors that just work for these places, so that they're just staff. But anyways, so in Costa Rica, they have this big farm, and they have 1,000 dogs, and so you can go there if you want to get a dog, and all the dogs are more domesticated. They're more like you can go there and go on walks. So the dogs go out and walk with you and stuff. Like, these dogs are all like ready to go and live in homes and stuff, not coming out of cages, stressed out, listening to dogs crying all day, watching dogs leave and never come back. And like, I mean, people act like dogs don't have any sense. They don't have any, they can't figure shit out. So anyways, yeah, when there's a big crisis in an area, that area needs to take notice and start doing something about it. And I know there is people like that one girl who she keeps trying to get all this stuff, and now Harris County is like in the news and stuff, and they do need to shut down that place and do need to come up with something different. And they may be the ones that are leading. There may be people there that come up with such good ideas, and it may show and lead other states to figure out their situation. So it's like a domino effect. But each community, each group of people all have to start handling their situations and whatever they've got going and stuff, and making changes and doing things different. And still, I say in some of these places, they do need to just gather up and mass exodus. And I saw somebody saying something about that they're trying to make us go into the Bible stories and relive this Red Sea one or something, which I think that is what it's not. I don't know that it's like they're trying to make us live this or do it. To me, it's kind of like the story is there, and you kind of got to take notice or understand the relevance or something. And it's because it is this liberation of mankind and this trusting of God. So I don't know, but I've heard these other people saying about this Bible story thing, and they're trying to get us to go back to this, what is it? They have the just like the versions or something. There's the King James version, but then there's the Old Testament or the New Testament. So they're trying to get us to go back to this Old Testament thing. And this person that was talking about this was saying something about the Red Sea and the Exodus and stuff like that. And it's like, I think that that is what we are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be exodus. We're supposed to be exiting areas. We're supposed to be, I don't know, connecting to the soil, connecting to the earth, and understanding that it's in a reset, that it's in a rolling over, it's in a changing time, and to move towards more safer areas. But people are so out of it, so much not connected spiritually or thinking in that direction and stuff. So I think that's what some of this stuff is going to create, is to get people to think more like that. But I think that there has got to be, some of these places are not going to get built back up, especially when there's so much poison in the soils and all of that stuff. It is, we're supposed to be moving out of some of the areas, and it may be like over there, it may be going up higher. Just going up higher in the Appalachian Mountains and stuff might be the smartest thing. I don't know. To me, you got to look at that map. The Doomsday Map is there for us for a reason, as far as I'm concerned. Especially because it was the naval projection map first. And that is, that should be helping us to see. And if you're in an area that they're saying is going to be underwater, I take that as like a sign. And so, and I don't know if all these people that are sitting there trying to stay there realize that this place is, there's going to be another storm and another storm until it's underwater, or this earthquake that's going to open up. And the people that are there, just staying there, that's their life journey. That's what they're there to experience, whatever it is. Like, and there's all sorts of experiences. They're not all just the same. They're not all going to be about people exiting and preparing and building community. A lot of it's going to be a part of the collapsing and things ending and people leaving and stuff. There's going to be a lot of that. So, and it's not that they're doing something wrong. That's the thing, is they're not doing something wrong from not waking up and not doing something different, not doing like what an awakened person would do. So it is a lot more of to me, it's like set. It's not something that we're supposed to be judging them. Oh, well, they messed up, they didn't wake up, they're not gonna be Age of Aquarius. It's like that doesn't matter. All that business doesn't matter. What matters is the here and now, is what we're going through and how it's affecting our souls, and what we're here to grow and learn from this experience that's happening right now. And through these experiences, like, everybody's experiences will end at different times. And there will be some people who will just keep carrying these experiences straight up to the creation of the new experience. And it's the kind of like to give us a parameter or boundaries or something of a new world. And oh yeah, I was thinking about this because when I was talking about like the trade place, like there's this trade place or something where they trade the bodies and you can buy humans for your bird cage or whatever. I would say that is a lower vibration. So wherever this place is, it's not like high up. It could be in a different place. It can be in a place that seems more vast or open or something, but it's not going to be like in the heavens, like because the heavens are not where people screw each other over and take advantage of people or want to keep people in cages or anything like that. So that to me would still be kind of a lower vibration. I mean, man, this is hurting. So, so let me think. Even though yesterday, when it was like nicer out and wasn't raining, still the sky, and still you go out and it still seems like you're breathing in something that you shouldn't be breathing in. Oh yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. So in some of these bigger places where they're hitting them with storms, and destroying places with storms. I was thinking some of these smaller places, like where I'm at, maybe they're not going to hit them all with storms. Maybe that's why they're poisoning the fuck out of us. And that was the thing, is to weed us out by poisoning us or something. Because I'm sure is like lots of other little towns that are having a lot of sickness and stuff. So, I was just thinking about that. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I won't have a windstorm. Maybe it won't knock a tree down on my house. Maybe they're just hitting us with the sickness. But I mean, anything, because I've got constant flooding, and we don't have any rain for the next couple days, supposedly. And then there's gonna be like 3 or 4 days of rain, and then there's a few days with no rain. And as if shit even keeps going the same, like, I don't. And oh my gosh, all my teeth keep hurting. It's like this one has caused all of my teeth to hurt. And that's where it's like, fuck, I don't think I can handle them in there with a drill. Just, it's like everything in my body and my whole thing seems so sensitive to sound and vibration or something. Man. Yesterday I was just like, I still feel super stressed about it too. It's just like, fuck. Everything just seems like, getting a drill, getting the silver out, like what I would want. I want to just have fucking new healthy teeth that they didn't fuck with. That's what I want. And, but I don't want to go through having this one pulled out and then having to have like a dry socket or something. But then it's also scary because if it's super fragile and it starts breaking, that was one of the problems over here where he was doing the root canal, where I had to end up getting this big fucking surgery because he broke it so far down. They had to go in surgically to get this stuff out. And I don't even remember if I told you one of the things too, because he had the one tool that he broke off in my tooth. That was a totally different tooth. Like, he was able to mess up 3 fucking teeth and break 3 teeth. And so, one of them, he had a tool broke off down inside. One of them, the tooth broke off and had to be, because he didn't fill the tooth up. So they do the root canal, and then they're supposed to fill it up with some stuff to put the thing. He just left an empty shell, and it broke. And so then it broke down so far into my root. That's the thing that's got me like tense, because I've felt some horrible nerve pain from my teeth before. And so, that's one of the things too, is like, ugh, if it's super fragile and it breaks more, then I don't want to have to get some major surgery thing. And then you got to come up with the money too. It's like, I don't know. Part of it is just like, go to the Chaz clinic and ask them to fucking take it out. Where I don't even know where the Chaz clinic is. And I don't even know if they, have a dental one around here. But my dentist that I have the insurance, that I did have my insurance on, I'm just going to call them this morning and see if I can be seen and have them look at it. And hopefully they say, oh, it's okay. It's still in there tight and it'll be fine. Because to me, it's just like, I just got to make it to the med beds, man. Just got to get to the fucking med beds. And then somebody was saying, like, in April is supposed to be, but I've heard it so many times. I swear to God, I've heard it for a couple of years now. Oh, we're going to have them by April. Oh, we're going to have them by June. Oh, they're making appointments for them. Oh, they've already started them. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, when's it going to be our turn? Like, is I want in one of those fucking things. And all of your fucking ailments and stuff go away, all by raising your vibration. So yeah, there's some kind of thing where they say, like, you can play this vibration, it will grow your teeth back, but I don't think it's going to grow them back anything like the speed of overnight. So yeah, I just want that med bed, and I know I have this other one too that has this silver. I was like, man, I don't know how many silver fillings I even have. I know I had some removed before, but then that stuff that they put in, I'm sure is just as fucking toxic. Like, we're not meant to have them be doing this and drilling our teeth and stuff. This lack of minerals and causing cavities and breaking down our teeth and stuff. And then putting in the the floor with the ride on, that stuff, that all their stuff is to destroy our health, destroy our teeth and stuff. So, I just want, it's like us wanting our health back and our natural teeth back and stuff. That is our God-given right, I think. It's like, man, the destruction that they've been causing us for so long. So, let me think. Was there something else? Because it seemed like that there was another thing I was gonna say. Um, there's a lot going on. We're still could have a dogfight. Hopefully, some kind of some action, like fucking crash the Wall Street. Fucking have Joe fall off a stage and Kamala, like something. Come on, something, some big action, some big that flips us going the other direction. And this is one thing too, is like when they sit there and say, oh, we're just jumping timelines and stuff. There's enough of us that want certain things that we would be making it happen if we had control over it. No, we're not here to force things or make things happen. We're here to experience what does happen, and then we're here to deal with our emotions and whatever it is that we have that comes up from what happens. So yeah, I'm telling you, if we had control, we would be making shit happen. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Like, that would be another proof to me. If nothing happens and there's this many people that are directing their energy towards that, that just is more proof. Like, and if it does happen and it is all these people putting their energy towards it, I'll be like, good. Now enough people are paying attention. Maybe, well, if there's a dogfight up in the sky tomorrow or the next day or anytime this week, anytime this year, when they start having dogfights in the sky with alien ships and shit, then I would say, yeah, that's going to be, people are going to start waking up. Like, things are going to start switching abruptly. So, I hope. Man, my stomach's just growling like crazy. My stomach's just always like, come on, bitch. It's like, cookies don't really fill you up. They taste good. And when everything tastes so funky and gross and it's hard to figure out things to eat, it's like cookies. So I'll probably make more cookies again today because I'll probably eat them all, because that's another thing too, is the dogs want to eat all my cookies too. So, let me think. Was there something else? Weather attacks, chemical attacks. Oh yeah, there's some, like, I keep seeing videos of people like in the UK and stuff. They're being very concerned. Like, they're paying a lot of attention to what's going on over there with the Ukraine and the Vladimir and stuff, and how they're getting sucked into it. And so, anyways, there's lots of concern around with different people in different places about the WW3 happening. And so we still have that on the table too. I mean, they could pull that switch at any moment. You know, they could tell us, hey, we've got 20. I think if it's a nuke thing coming from a certain place, I think it's like, I don't know, we'd have like 30 minutes or some 30 stressful minutes, maybe an hour or something. It would probably hit at different places at different times or something. I don't know. There would definitely be a window of stress, a window of like, oh my God, this is the end. Confirmation. So that would be the point of it. And then there would be people who I'm sure would be like doing themselves in and stuff at the time. So that part would be the part where he'd say, well, the ending's not for everybody, because we're all making our choices, and some souls make their choices out of fear. And so that's where you got to power through, soldier. Power through. And know your power. And know that this is all bullshit. Everything happening here is bullshit. It's like a movie playing out. And we're in it. And you wake up in it. And then you start trying to figure out how to get out of it. How do I get out of this movie? It's like, God damn. I just keep thinking that it's gonna keep switching. It's gonna become easier for the different levels. Like, when you can get through one level, then the next level, I think that they're gonna become kind of more, I would say easier, but that kind of makes it feel like, oh, they'll be easy. I think they'll still be challenging, but you know, there's gonna be a difference. You know, there'll be some kind of a switch, and to me, it's like the difference of having a bathroom that doesn't work and having a bathroom that's in good shape. So it's kind of like that energy of switching. But there's going to be lots and lots of people who are still in this kind of energy of like, things aren't working right, things aren't working right, things are breaking and stuff. And things are still breaking. I mean, my goddamn tooth broke. And, but I'm just going to keep thinking like, okay, this is just the mercury or the silver is trying to make its way out of my teeth because it's the vibration. I don't know. I'm just rambling. So, anyways, I've been talking long enough. Anyways, let me think if there was something else. Um, I don't know. I have not been on, going on to there. I've only seen like a few videos. So, like, I'll go on for a couple minutes when I'm going to go to bed, and then I'll go on for a couple minutes when I get up. But I've seen a few things that I've seen about the storms and about people wondering about the dog fight that's going to happen, and um, all those kinds of things. More stuff in North, just the same stuff I've been talking about. So, anyways, it just keeps on going. I'm just hoping for something big, because once something big happens, it's like, surely that's it. Surely it's not going to keep going back to this dragging. It just feels like things are dragging. It's like, fuck, man. So, anyways, as it drags, as it slowly rolls us over into this new existence, this new world, remember what you're doing is because you've got to do the work. So many people, I don't think that they realize the work that they need to be doing, and they're misdirecting their energy. So what you need to be doing is working on you. You got to learn how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. So work on that, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.